1, 2, is this on?
Ever wonder how pyro works in the WWE? Well, the fireworks that shoot out aren't the ones that make the noise. They're basically just sparklers. The pyro itself is quiet, but the bang comes from a rack of concussion pots and simulators which are tucked away somewhere behind the stage, so the noise is above and away from the immediate area. This idea originally came from Bad Blood 1997 during Kane's original debut. The explosion of the fire looked cool but didn't sound as expected.
Oh my god, wait a minute, it's Paul Bear!
So WWE started putting in the sound after. That explains why Cody's eardrums haven't exploded with that pyro at the beginning of his entrance. Wrestling is all about theatrics. The more significant a move appears, the more impactful it seems. That's why many wrestlers wet their hair before a match. Wet hair is denser and therefore moves more dramatically than dry hair, helping strikes to appear more forceful. Because wet hair is heavier, it's easier to move in the front of the face with the simple tilt of the head, which helps to conceal communication when a wrestler is calling a spot in the ring.
Do that! That Triple H cannot believe it! Side slam! How do you get his shoulder up? Oh, no!
Of course, one risk of wrestling with wet hair is that it will dry halfway through the match and ultimately defeat the purpose of looking good.
There's the WWE nightmare, because you gotta take on that man.
Wrestlers would frequently oil themselves up before coming out for a match because it shows off their muscles better, making their bodies look more impressive. But the added benefit is that it also helps with sliding in and out of locks and creates less friction when trying to do some maneuvers, and it's particularly effective against mat burn. It was more popular in the 90s, with less and less superstars doing it in the current day, but there are still a few wrestlers who keep up the tradition. Wrestlers tend to shave their bodies on a regular basis, so they not only have that smooth look appearance, but in respect for their opponents, as body hair can trap bacteria, causing body odor which can be unpleasant for their opponents during close contact moves.
Why do WWE wrestlers shave their armpits? Most guys do it just for that smooth look, for appearance's sake.
WWE treats male and female wrestlers differently when it comes to announcing their weights. While male wrestlers often have their weights announced during their introductions,
Weighing 290 pounds, Batista!
Weighing in at 500 pounds, the Big Show.
WWE does not do this for female wrestlers.
From Cryo Lake, Minnesota, Tiffany Stratton.
Tennessee, Bianca Belair.
This practice can be attributed to a few factors. Firstly, it's the social norm not to ask women about their weight, and additionally, in previous generations, WWE's weight divisions such as cruiserweight and heavyweight only applied specifically to male wrestlers. Since there are no similar weight classes for female wrestlers, there's less emphasis on announcing their weight. However, more recently, WWE does announce the weights of some of its female wrestlers, including Nia Jax,
Weighing 272 pounds, Nia Jax.
WWE often positions good guys on the left side of the ring and the heels on the right during tag team matches. This helps clearly distinguish between heroes and villains, making it easier for the audience to follow the action. Placing the faces on the left side also enhances the viewer engagement by allowing the camera to capture their facial expressions more effectively, which helps fans connect with the characters on a deeper emotional level. In professional wrestling, referees play a pivotal role beyond merely enforcing rules and counting pinfalls. Equipped with earpieces, they communicate not only with the wrestlers, but also with the production team. This enables them to provide real-time instructions, ensuring wrestler safety and adapting the match when necessary. For example, referees can signal adjustments if a match needs to be shortened or extended, or if on-the-spot changes to the storyline are required.
But you are wearing an earpiece.
Right.
So talk us through what you're hearing.
I'll tell you when to raise the title up. If I'm reprimanding one of the boys, I'm not really reprimanding them. I'm acting like I'm pointing at them, mean face,
Yeah.
and I'm calling spots.
At each WWE event, a digital clock is placed along the main TV camera. This arrangement aids wrestlers by giving them accurate details about the timing of their matches and the scheduling of commercial breaks. This information is crucial for wrestlers to avoid using a signature move or key spot at the wrong time, ensuring their performance aligns with the show's structure. A wrestler going through the ring is always an impressive moment, and it involves meticulous preparation behind the scenes. A crew member is always stationed under the ring during televised WWE shows. This individual is responsible for tasks such as tightening cables and positioning weapons. Before a wrestler is slammed through the ring, this crew member removes the wooden boards and supports from the area where the wrestler will land, while ensuring that the foam padding underneath remains intact to maintain the ring's shape and cushioning. Have you ever wondered how The Undertaker stays hidden under the ring for so long, or how he knows precisely when to make his dramatic entrance? Over the years, WWE has revealed revealed that wrestlers use a monitor and headset under the ring to stay informed. This setup allows them to watch the show and communicate with WWE officials backstage. Fans have become aware of this thanks to spotty monitors placed under the ring, which often become visible just before the lights go out and a wrestler like The Undertaker or other superstars makes a surprise appearance. Seeing a monitor under the ring often indicates that a surprise entrance is imminent. How often have you heard Michael Cole claim that Raw is sold out tonight?
We are 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, sold out tonight.
In reality, this isn't always accurate. WWE often uses this claim to enhance the perception of their shows and make them appear more significant and must-see. However, thanks to social media, fans can upload photos showing the actual attendance, revealing that many shows have had empty seats. Introducing a table into a match instantly heightens the crowd interest, and a wrestler going through a table often generates one of the biggest reactions of the night. The tables used are made from very thin chipboard, designed to break easily under the weight of a person, creating a dramatic, explosive effect when they collapse. However, the metal poles supporting the tables can sometimes cause injury, and occasionally, tables fail to break properly. This usually happens if a wrestler doesn't land in the center, so it may require a repeat spot to achieve the desired effect.
Wait a minute now. And the inside of the ring. Oh, look out! Devo through a table! And Angle's gonna try it one more time, and that time, the table breaks. Oh, no! Oh! Hey! King Booker in trouble! Step through the table with a spine buster! Throw me the king!
WWE matches, ladders serve two main purposes: as a tool for climbing to win the match, and as a weapon. This dual function requires the ladder be both strong enough to support wrestlers' weight and safe enough to use as a weapon. Unlike traditional ladders, WWE ladders are designed with some modifications for safety. The steel used in these ladders is hollow, making them lighter and less dangerous when used to strike opponents. Additionally, the center of the ladder is intentionally made weaker to facilitate dramatic spots where the ladder can break or collapse during a match.
And Ricochet launched right out of the ladder, and the ladder just crashed in half.
In WWE, the glass featured in segments, particularly during high-impact moments, is generally not real glass. It's commonly made from breakaway materials intended to resemble glass, but with added safety. This breakaway glass is often crafted from sugar and other substances, engineered to shatter easily and safely to minimize the risk of injury to the wrestlers.
This was completely safe and wasn't going to hurt or cut you in any way.
Seth Rollins first joined WWE's main roster, he made the mistake of using an ice pack on his neck after a match. John Cena questioned Rollins about how many matches he had worked, to which Rollins said 3. Cena's point was that newcomers who are expected to build up their endurance and toughness shouldn't need ice packs so early in their WWE careers. Similarly, Summer Rae faced a similar situation when Randy Orton noticed her icing her foot. The underlying belief in WWE at the time was that new wrestlers should be able to handle the physical demands of the job without needing ice packs, which was seen as a sign of over-reliance or a lack of resilience. This approach is part of a broader culture where newcomers are often pushed to demonstrate their toughness and ability to endure the grueling schedule of professional wrestling. If a fan interferes in a match and a wrestler responds by attacking the fan, the wrestler may face fines. According to Mark Henry, he has witnessed situations where wrestlers were fined $10,000 for reacting physically to fans who invaded the ring. WWE typically covers the cost of medical treatments and rehabilitation for injuries sustained during official matches or training sessions within their facilities. However, if a wrestler is injured outside of WWE's events or training environments, they are generally responsible for their own medical expenses. WWE owns all intellectual property related to its wrestlers. This encompasses ring names, entrance themes, personal brands, catchphrases, and images used for merchandise. Surprisingly, even a wrestler's real name can fall under WWE's ownership. For example, WWE has the rights to John Cena's name, despite it being Cena's actual name.
Owning your own name, WWE still currently owns that, and they get a piece of any project that you're a part of. Sure. You okay with that?
John Cena has openly acknowledged the arrangement and expressed that he is comfortable paying royalties to the WWE when using his name. However, it's important to note that not all WWE superstars are subject to the same IP ownership terms, as individual contracts can vary, just like Dwayne Johnson, who got his The Rock IP back from WWE. During his hiatus from wrestling between 1998 and 2002, two-time WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels was reportedly well compensated by WWE. The company paid Michaels $750,000 per year for 4 years, totaling $3 million over that period, to remain at home and not work. This decision made by Vince McMahon was likely influenced by McMahon's desire to prevent Michaels from potentially signing with WCW, ensuring he remained under WWE's control and avoiding any competitive disadvantage. Vince McMahon has reportedly spent more on hush money for his sexual misconduct allegations than he did for buying WCW and ECW. It's estimated that he paid around $15 million to several women to keep quiet, while he only spent about $5 million to acquire both WCW and ECW. Kevin Sullivan booked his own divorce. Sullivan insisted Chris Benoit and Woman room and ride together on the road, but it ultimately led to Woman's affair with Benoit and Kevin and Chris's legendary feud. In the early 1980s, as Hulk Hogan was on the rise to becoming a wrestling icon, his manager Jimmy Hart suggested that Hogan wear red and yellow. Hart's idea was based on the fact that these colors were prominently featured in McDonald's branding, which was a widely recognized and popular chain across America. The vibrant, eye-catching colors helped Hogan stand out and resonate with fans, making him more memorable and marketable. Hogan embraced the idea, and the red and yellow became synonymous with his real American persona, contributing significantly to his iconic status in wrestling history. The Undertaker was initially reluctant to revert to his dead man gimmick in 2004 because he valued the versatility of his American badass persona. He appreciated the freedom it gave him to perform different styles of matches and express a broader range of in-ring abilities. The American badass character allowed him more creative freedom, whereas returning to the dead man would mean conforming to the limitations of that persona. It took significant persuasion and a lot of begging before The Undertaker agreed to go back to his iconic dead man character. Chyna was supposed to be the first female member of the iconic NWO and was on the verge to sign a contract with WCW when Shane McMahon made the save by informing her that the WWE had decided to take her in. Taboo Tuesday 2004 was the first WWE event to feature fan voting as a major element. This interactive approach allowed fans to vote on various aspects of the show, including match stipulations and opponents. One of the featured matches on the undercard was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H was scheduled to defend the title against one of three potential challengers chosen by the fans: Chris Benoit, Edge, or Shawn Michaels. The fans voted Shawn Michaels as the challenger with 39% of the vote. Originally, if Edge had won the fan vote instead of Michaels, he was scripted to win the World Heavyweight Championship against Triple H.
The voting was legitimate. It turns out that if I had won the voting that night, I would have won the world title. And I was like 2% behind. I just thought, son of a bitch.
You know you can't beat Triple H, and I would have. You took it away, you selfish son of a bitch.
Nobody tapped out to a submission hold until the mid-90s. It was first done inadvertently when UFC fighter Paul Varelans was in a match against Taz in ECW.
He got it on! Marlins tapped out! Marlins has tapped out!
It became popular in WWE when Ken Shamrock arrived. His first two televised matches were no-holds-barred matches. First against Vernon White on Raw, and then against Vader on an In Your House. Both matches ended with the opponent tapping out.
Shamrock taking some liberties here. He's got the submission move on Vader. He's turning that. That's all. That's all.
John Cena was the first one to point at the WrestleMania sign after winning the 2008 Royal Rumble match. Until then, the champions only celebrated and stared at the sign from a distance, but no one pointed to it. This became a trend and everyone started to follow the footpaths of Cena in the upcoming years.
Batista will headline WrestleMania 30.
You've likely seen Triple H's entrance countless times, but one particularly rare moment occurred during the first Insurrection pay-per-view in the UK. For this event, Triple H made a memorable appearance with an oversized water bottle, which was 4 times the size of his usual one. The sight of the giant water bottle was quite comical, and even resembled the oversized bottle featured in the No Mercy video game, adding a unique and humorous touch to his entrance. Alexa Bliss, standing at just over 5 feet tall, is known for a nickname 5 Feet of Fury. When she won the WWE Raw Women's Championship at Payback 2017, the standard title belt was indeed a bit too large for her frame. To accommodate her size, WWE made adjustments by shortening the strap of the belt so that it would fit her better. This customization ensured that the title would look proportionate and comfortable on her. Rene Dupree was the youngest champion in WWE. He won the World Tag Team Champion at age 19. This was then surpassed by Nicholas Crone, the son of WWE official John Crone, who competed at WrestleMania 34 alongside Braun Strowman to win the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship from Cesaro and Sheamus at just 10 years old. On the following episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, Strowman and Nicholas were forced to relinquish the Raw Tag Team titles due due to Nicholas being in the 4th grade. Seth Rollins has had more successful defenses of the Raw Women's Championship than Sasha Banks, who has yet to record any successful defenses. At Extreme Rules 2019, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, both holding world titles, defended their belts in a mixed tag team match against Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. Technically, Rollins has defended the Raw Women's Championship successfully once, surpassing Banks, who has 0 successful defenses. In 2011, Kelly made history by successfully defending the World Heavyweight Championship. She teamed up with the then champion Edge in a 2-on-3 handicap match with the title on the line. Kelly's team emerged victorious, and by winning the match, she effectively defended the championship. Shawn Michaels is the wrestler who has forfeited most titles in WWE history. Chris Jericho never had a major title run as a face. All of his 6 world title runs in WWE were as a heel. Christian is the only wrestler to win a championship in 3 consecutive WrestleManias, 2000, 17, and 18. Brock Lesnar is the only wrestler to have won multiple world championships and nothing but world titles. He has never captured any secondary title or tag team titles. The WWE Championship changed hands 11 times in 1999, the most times ever recorded in history. There were 7 different champions, even including Vince McMahon. The Miz is the only WWE superstar to have held 3 championships at the same time. The Undertaker and Batista are notable WWE superstars who have never won the Intercontinental Championship. Similarly, John Cena, Sheamus, and Brock Lesnar have also not claimed the title. However, since Cena, Sheamus, and Lesnar are still active in the wrestling world, they might still have the opportunity to add the Intercontinental Championship to their list of accomplishments in the future. Randy Savage lost all 6 of his world titles to the same 2 men, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. 8 seconds was all it took for Diesel to defeat WWE champion Bob Backlund and claim the title in Madison Square Garden on November 26, 1994. This match holds the record for the shortest WWE title match in history.
Opportunity! What a boot to the midsection! And jackknife! And in a record-setting 8 seconds!
Jinder Mahal's single WWE Championship reign is longer than all 4 of Edge's combined. All 3 members of the Shield pinned a different member of the Shield to win their first WWE Championship.
Just goes down. Oh, championship! He's the leg! Roman Reigns has done it! Dirty deeds! Kick out, Seth! Everyone's champion!
Goldberg has been a world champion in 4 different decades.
Listen to this! To become the heavyweight champion of the world! And by God, he has done it! Has just cost KO the title tonight! Jackhammer! Shoulders down! He did it! Turn back the clock!
As of now, no male WWE superstar born in the 1990s has won a world championship on the main roster. Cody Rhodes once won a championship from himself when he and Ted DiBiase beat Bob Holly and Cody for the World Tag Titles in Night of Champions 2008. Ted DiBiase was in search of a partner for his upcoming match against Hardcore Holly and Cody Rhodes. In an unexpected twist, Rhodes turned on Holly and ended up being DiBiase's secret ally.
DiBiase wants... Whoa, what the... Oh! Locked is the right word. I'm dumbfounded. I don't understand this.
Raven has had 37 wrestling title reigns, with 27 of those being the hardcore title. Jake the Snake Roberts has never held any title in WWE. All 7 of Edge and Christian's tag team title reigns took place between WrestleMania 16 and WrestleMania 17. Ricky Steamboat holds the record for the longest gap between WrestleMania appearances, spanning 21 years. He competed at WrestleMania 4 in 1988 and did not return to the event until WrestleMania 25 in 2009. WrestleMania 3 is the last time Hulk Hogan successfully defended the WWF title on a pay-per-view. He was 0-4 in title defenses after that. Despite many people assuming Triple H buried other wrestlers, he has the most losses ever at WrestleMania. The Rock lost every world title match he was in at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair competed in a historic triple threat match at WrestleMania 32 on April 3rd, 2016. This match was significant because it was the first women's match at WrestleMania to go past the 10-minute mark. It lasted 16 minutes and 3 seconds. Undertaker defeated every member of Evolution at WrestleMania.
Now the tombstone. No! On the last ride, but he couldn't avoid. On the last ride. On the last ride. He'll be looking at foot down. Goodbye. He got him. What a mess. Tombstone. We have a new world champion.
WrestleMania 2000 is the only WrestleMania not to feature a traditional male singles match. Hulk Hogan's only clean loss in his second run, from 85 to 93, was to Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. Edge is the only multi-time Royal Rumble winner to not win the world title at WrestleMania. The Undertaker has main evented WrestleMania across 4 different decades. In the 90s, he main evented against Psycho Sid. In the 2000s, he main evented against Edge. In the 2010s, he main evented against Shawn Michaels and Roman Reigns. And in the 2020s, he took on AJ Styles. WrestleMania 2 is the only WrestleMania event to take place on a Monday. Since The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak has been conquered, Bianca Belair holds the current record at 5 matches undefeated, while Rob Van Dam holds the record for the men at just 4 matches unbeaten. Since WrestleMania 20, only The Miz and Daniel Bryan main evented WrestleMania, having never won a Royal Rumble. Randy Orton hasn't won a pay-per-view match on his own since WrestleMania 37 against Bray Wyatt. WrestleMania 19 featured a unique main event where both participants used their real names. The main event was a match between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. The actual fastest match in WWE wasn't Aaliyah vs Natalya at 3.17 seconds, but in fact it was Chris Jericho and Jerry Lawler vs Taz and Mideon, which ended in just 2.1 seconds.
Looks like he just had a litter of punch. And King's got the cover. King's got the cover. The King wins.
El Torito has the second best win percentage in WWE history at 91.78%. Comedy jobber James Ellsworth is the only wrestler in WWE to have 3 consecutive victories over AJ Styles, and what makes this even worse is that it was while Styles was WWE champion.
It should be a tough one. Ellsworth had no business. No! He got it!
Triple H and Rey Mysterio have never had a feud or one-on-one match, despite having been active in WWE together for over a decade. Brock Lesnar has never been pinned on Monday Night Raw, and a big reason for this might be that Brock Lesnar hasn't actually wrestled a match on Raw since July of 2002. However, Taz and Spike Dudley did beat Brock Lesnar and Batista in a dark match, with Spike Dudley pinning Batista. The phrase RKO out of nowhere became linked with Orton's RKO, as the move was recognized for its abrupt and surprising nature. Jim Ross first introduced the term during Randy Orton's match against Chris Benoit at SummerSlam 2004.
The second time. And, oh my God! RKO out of nowhere!
John Cena hasn't won any of his matches at SummerSlam since 2010. Bret Hart just lasted 15 minutes in all 5 of his Royal Rumble appearances. Mick Foley was 10% of a Royal Rumble match one year. He entered as Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love. The match therefore consisted of 3 Mick Foleys out of the 30 total participants. In 1999, The Rock underwent breast reduction surgery to address gynecomastia, a condition that causes enlarged breast tissue in men. This surgery was aimed at reducing the appearance of what is commonly referred to as man boobs, helping him to achieve his desired physique for his wrestling and acting career. The $500 shirts The Rock wore were also worn by Jerry Lawler on commentary. Randy Orton once used CM Punk's old entrance theme song, This Fire Burns, in 2006, before it was given to Punk because it apparently fit him better. CM Punk's ring name has been the source of discussion for many years. The CM initials originally stood for Chick Magnet. Chris Jericho was originally going to wrestle under the name Jack Action or Sean Skywalker, which ultimately did not stick. Although Shawn Michaels and Eddie Guerrero never had a one-on-one dream match, there was one occasion where both wrestlers exchanged punches. This happened as part of the storyline where SmackDown was invading Raw on October 3rd, 2005, during an off-air segment following the Raw broadcast building up to their Survivor Series match later that year. And they were in fact rumored to have a match at that year's WrestleMania before Eddie's untimely passing. Rosa Mendes worked in WWE for 9 years, 11 if you count developmental, but she has just 1 televised singles win, and it only came thanks to a DQ.
The winner of this match as a result of a disqualification, Rosa Mendes.
Rosa never pinned anyone in a one-on-one match on the main roster. Some might argue that she wrestled mostly in tag matches, but Mendes was on the losing team for 90% of them too. Triple H began being called the King of Kings in 2006. However, the game actually used this term for the first time during a promo 2 years prior, on the September 13, 2004 Raw.
The King of Kings, baby, is back. The King is back on his throne.
Even though the lead singer from the band The Police was known as Sting first, the wrestler of the same name is the one who actually owns the name. This is because the Stinger was the first to trademark it. Therefore, in order for the singer to keep using the name, he and the former WCW icon made an agreement where the singer pays the wrestler $1 a year to use the Sting moniker. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns both made their WWE debuts at the same event. The first WWE televised event featured WrestleMania opponents Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns appeared on was the 2007 Hall of Fame. This was for their respective fathers' induction speeches, Dusty Rhodes and Sika, the latter of whom went in as part of the Wild Samoans tag team along with Afa.
Dustin Runnels and Cody Rhodes.
Hulk Hogan and Sting's match from Starrcade 1997 is famous for the botched count from Nick Patrick that was meant to be a fast count after Hogan told him to do so, despite Eric Bischoff telling Nick to do the opposite. Realizing he was about to be screwed, Sting raises his right shoulder from the mat, meaning in kayfabe there should be no controversy surrounding this spot, since Sting technically kicked out. In his youth, Vince McMahon and his mother were estranged from McMahon's father, Vince Sr. Vince Jr. grew up in a trailer park in North Carolina with his mom, where he was known as Vinnie Lupton. The last name was inherited from his then stepfather, Leo Lupton, someone who Vince wanted to personally unalive, but he was unable to since Leo passed before McMahon could do so. Mick Foley was the only person to kiss Vince McMahon's asshole. Any wrestler that joined the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club either did so by kissing his butt cheeks or by having their head shoved into it, but Mick Foley was the only one to really pucker up and stick his whole head into Vince's butthole. Rhino was originally going to be brought in as the long-lost little brother of Edge and Christian. The WWE had even asked if he had any objections to dyeing his hair blonde. Rhino stated that Edge and Christian were able to convince creative to let him stay as Rhino by pointing out that he had a following from ECW who would see through the new character. The name Mary was also pitched for Rhino. It took 54 years for the WWE Championship to change hands outside of the US and Canada. It happened when AJ Styles defeated Jinder Mahal on SmackDown in Manchester in November 2017.
Phenomenal hit! AJ Styles cover! Styles is the WWE champion!
Dustin Rhodes has wrestled in 5 different decades. Sting is the only wrestler to be in a WCW, TNA, WWE, and AEW video game. Shane McMahon went through the Armageddon Hell in a Cell dive rehearsal twice to persuade Rikishi to go through with it. Rikishi, being the heaviest wrestler to ever perform the leap from the top of the cell, required specific adjustments and extra precautions to ensure it was safe for him. Fans used to call Owen Hart Nugget because Shawn Michaels and Triple H compared him to the last nugget of shit that won't quite flush down the toilet, since he was the last Hart family member left in the WWF.
Owen Hart, you, my friend, are that small little stinky, stanky nugget that just refuses to get flushed down the hopper.
Dean Ambrose originally used the headlock driver as his finisher in WWE, but he found it challenging to execute on taller opponents like Randy Orton and Kane. To adapt, he developed the Dirty Deeds, which is a more versatile and impactful move. Chris Jericho once called The Undertaker boring during a promo, which caused backstage tension. His comments led to backlash from fellow wrestlers, including Shawn Michaels.
Personification of evil? I say personification of boredom. Whoa!
Hulk Hogan wrestled more matches than The Rock after the Passing the Torch match at WrestleMania 18. Between Ric Flair's first and last match, Trish Stratus was born, debuted, retired, returned, and retired again. Triple H and Shane McMahon are now as old as Vince was in the Attitude Era. We are less than a year away from the company being WWE, longer than it was WWF. And lastly, Stephanie McMahon is an anagram of the Macho Man penis. The more you know.